Welcome to the Ingress Insights podcast, hosted by PkmnTrainerJ. Ingress Insights is a podcast about the Niantic game Ingress. Listen each week for the latest news, updates and rumours. Let us know your thoughts by leaving a voice message or emailing us at the links in the show notes.
Additional intel available.
Hello agents, this is a bit of a bonus episode to just let me get some thoughts out about Ingress Anomalies versus Pokemon GO's big events, Pokemon GO Fest, and kind of what they could learn from each other, what Ingress might be able to steal from Pokemon GO and how they do things. Since the split of the companies to Scopely and Niantic Spatial earlier this year, obviously they're no longer owned by the same people, so they can do very different things if they want to. They already did. I think the contrast will be a bit more stark now in what they decide to do, how they decide to do their large events. As I said, I just want to run through a few thoughts that I'd had. So starting with Pokemon GO Fest, I've been to a couple of those in person now. I've been to a couple of Anomalies in person, hopefully going to a few more. For Pokemon GO Fest, you have to purchase a ticket. So it's generally between like £10 to £15 for me for those tickets. And you've got to pay for your travel costs, everything else. For an Ingress Anomaly, there used to be tickets to pay to attend those, but they're now free. You don't have to pay to attend an Anomaly separately, you can just show up. So this made me wonder whether the Ingress team should offer a premium ticket for their events instead. So they've been offering the campaigns for Plus Delta for 300 CMU, basically £20. Maybe a Plus Beta Premium Anomaly where you get some extras might be the way to go forward on there to generate some extra income for them, rather than everyone can show up and attend the event. You get some extra stuff if you pay the £20, 30,800 CMU, however they want to do it and however they confirm that. Obviously, there's the tickets you can buy in the game that would confirm you've done that now. So it'd just be a case of confirming you've actually attended in person and how they do that, geofencing or whatever. The next bit I want to move on to is that for Pokemon GO Fest, the events happen in one location. So, for example, in Paris Go Fest, there was a large park where the event was happening. That was all the trainers showed up to, all the people there doing the event, participating in their time when they had a ticket for. At that as well, they have several like themed areas, and as well as tents for like Wayfarer, community ambassadors, and notable trainers. So people you might know from the Pokemon Go influencer space. There's not really an Ingress influencer space that's the same. So that's great. Everyone shows up in one location, you know where you're going, know what to do. For Ingress, the event is Playbox, so you do have an area where you show up, where you can attend and where you know the event is going on, but it's a bit different where it'll be in like the whole city and not a park that Niantic have rented out and paid for to run the event there and got staff in. You wouldn't see like other staff there at Ingress events. So it makes me wonder whether it should be at a park, a large area where that they could put in other things. They could put in Ingress themed decorations, XMPs, things like that. The decorations at the Paris Go Fest were particularly good. So like the themed areas for that were pretty cool. So it'd be great to see something similar for Ingress. And then for Pokemon Go Fest as well, you have the main event. You go to a park, you play, do all your stuff there. Then when you leave, there's geofencing that identifies you've left the area, and you get a city experience as well. So extra things to do once you've done the main event at the park. So I'm wondering what kind of things Ingress could do for that if they did do it in the same way. So you could leave and after the event, after everything had been done, all the things been blown up and recaptured, everything like that. Whether there could then be some special campaigns that you do outside the city. I know there's the mission days, but an actual campaign you get via your dispatch would be quite cool. And I also wondered what themed areas there could be if they did it this way, and what notable agents could attend. I don't know what notable agents there really are, but it's just something I was thinking about. Then again, going back to Pokemon Go Fest, they have the park, as I said. There's obviously things in the park normally, like statues and bits and pieces, but not loads of stuff. So what they do is they create Pokestops and Wayspots at the location for you to interact with and use. They're decorated with like Pokemon themed things, or maybe there's some I mentioned for the hydration stations. Ingress has done this in the past when there was the whole Niantic Community Day thing. They created some portals that weren't really there. They were just called Niantic Community Day. they also create portals for the NL1331P and whatever letter events there are. So it's something they already have the ability to do if they were going to do it in a park and just have the portals for that area maybe named after characters, named after important Ingress events. They could do a similar thing if they wanted to. Next up for organization. So for Pokemon Go Fest, as far as I'm aware, all you need to do is buy the ticket and Niantic organise everything else. I guess now Scopely organise everything else. You just got to show up on the right day. Whereas for Ingress, anomalies every month pretty much. And a lot of onus is put on the points of contact, such as checking the playbox, organising teams, communicating with Niantic, and getting everything ready on there. So it would be a little easier on them, I guess, if there was a park, a large area, and then agents kind of left free to roam on there. Obviously, there'd be the organisation of attacking various portals, make sure everyone's travelling around to the right places. But there'd be some less chaos, maybe. I don't know whether there'd be more chaos with it being a contained area, but it'd be less stress on the points of contact because they wouldn't have to do as much. I know I talked about the premium ticket possibility, but for Pokemon Go Fest, there is, like I said, the main ticket that you buy to attend the event. There's also some add-on tickets. So again, Ingress could do a similar thing where you buy a ticket for the anomaly, go to the location, and then there's extra pay tickets for more campaigns. We've seen this in the Plus Delta Anomaly series, whereas doing the premium tickets you can buy again for 30,800 CMU, and we'll see some more, I assume, in the next campaigns too. Starting again with Pokemon Go Fest, when I'm thinking about this, generally for Pokemon Go Fest, there's a unique selling point. So there's rare Pokemon to catch or a newly available legendary that you can only get by attending that event. Whereas for Ingress, obviously people usually attend in person to get the medal, but that's now attainable just via points and campaigns. You don't actually have to go and attend in person. So people are questioning why bother to go to the events. There's obviously the social aspect of meeting other agents, participating in the general fun of an Ingress Anomaly, because they are very fun to go to. But I wonder if there could be more draw to the event, such as a unique item that you could get only by attending events, so maybe like level 9 and up gear, or a very rare kinetic capsule that you can get by, I don't know, completing the bounties that are there for the anomaly that you can only get when you're actually at the anomaly in person, so you can't get those otherwise. There's got to be some selling point to it for you to go and obviously pay the money if you are paying and get there at the event. And then the final point for now that I can think of in this just kind of rambling thoughts is that for Pokemon Go Fest, they generally follow up their in-person events with a global event. So there'll be a global Go Fest event where you can get much of the same items and Pokemon as the people that attended in person. Usually the people that attend in person get some extras that you don't get at this global event, and they get more stuff. Obviously, they're paid for it, so they're expected to get more, whereas the global one is free to attend by anyone anywhere in the world. The Ingress team kind of used to do this, so for things like the Cryptic Memories series, we got a bonus week after the events where you got extra things and extra items from hacks, things like that. So even if you weren't attending the anomalies in person, you still get a bonus week like a global event after the end of the Anomaly series, which was a nice little thing to kind of restock and get ready for the next series, but they did drop those. We don't get the bonus weeks in the Plus Delta or the Plus Theta events. That's all I can really think of. I made myself some quick notes about this earlier in the week. I just want to go through and air them out, see what you think. If you think that the anomalies could be improved, whether you think you want them changed because they've been the same for a little while now, or whether you think they're absolutely fine, you don't care about attending Pokemon Go things, you don't want it to be like Pokemon Go at all. Happy to hear your thoughts. Do leave them in the comments, and hope you have a great day, agents, whatever day this decides to come out on. Thank you, agents, for listening to the latest episode of the Ingress Insights podcast. If you'd like to help the podcast out, you can do that in a few ways. So, first of all, rating the podcast on the podcast service you're listening to is always a great help, as well as leaving any comments on YouTube or Spotify if you're able to do that if you're listening on those channels. Ingress Insights also has a merch store over at tpublic.com/user/ingress-insights, where you can pick up badges and pins and t-shirts with the Ingress Insights logo on, and a few other little bits. There's also the Ko-fi store page, which has previous episodes of the podcast if you want to download those. They'll be out in batches over the next few months. You can also follow us on social media. So the main one we use is Instagram, which is under the name ingress.insights. And we also have a Blue Sky and a Threads, which you can find linked on the show notes to follow on there. If you have any feedback or episodes you'd like to see, or bonus episodes, things you want to cover, or you want to come on and chat about your experience playing Ingress, do let me know. You can contact us via email as well. And the email address is just ingressinsights@gmail.com. So you can send us anything there, voice messages, things you want me to discuss in future episodes, or anything you think I've missed and need to cover next time. Thank you again for listening, agents. Hope you have a great day and happy hacking.
Intel package transferred.